It's Thursday at the moment. I wasn't going to mention the weather forecast again because they're always lying. Do you remember I said last time? Anyway, I'm going to mention it for one reason. The wind from the west is blowing the flag all over the place. The cherry tree is going mad. The fig tree in the back garden is almost taking off. Over the downs, I'm looking to the north of where I am, to the South Downs, to the north of me. It is black, absolutely black. They forecast torrential rain, thunder and lightning. Now the storm at the moment on my storm app is over Hampshire. Now Hampshire is the next county. I'm West Sussex. Hampshire is to the left of me. All right, to the east of me. No, the west of me. Get it right. Hampshire is to the west of me. Oh, look it up on the map. It's not New Hampshire in America. Hampshire, the south of England. That's where the storm is. My lightning app on my phone keeps sending me thunder noises, all this stuff on my phone. Now, I was having a tune around on medium wave, and I like listening to Radio Caroline and other stations, but it was very difficult because of the lightning. Now, have a listen to this. Just listening to a quiet spot on the medium wave band, the AM band. There's a storm in Hampshire, and it's coming our way, I think. You can hear the lightning crackling. Oh dear. I think it's getting closer. When I was a boy and I first started listening on shortwave radio, well, and medium wave as well, long wave, AM, I used to love it when there was a storm nearby because of the crashes and the crackles. You can actually hear storms on the radio, that interference, that crackling. You can hear that even though the storm might be 1,000 miles away or more. The other side of the world, the radio waves from the storm, that interference, it propagates around the world. And there are always storms going on somewhere in the world. There's always a storm happening. Now I can hear thunder. This is getting better. I might have to get the recorder out and hang out of the window. I know you think I'm mad. Well, you don't think. You know I'm mad. But I love all this. It's getting dark now. They have been on and on and on about storms, threatening us with warnings. There's going to be a storm, lightning, thunder, torrential rain. Nothing ever happens. But now I think it's about to. I'm now sitting outside under the patio roof. We've got some banging going on. There's some builders down the road banging about. I can hear a train in the background. Can you hear the rain? There's a train in the background. I'm down here to hear the thunder. I might have to go down the garden where there's a sheltered bit because the rain's going to be too loud on the roof here. There's still some blue sky around. I'm now looking to the south. Whoa, did you hear that? I'm going to move down the garden. The rain's not too heavy at the moment. There we are. I'm sitting here by the pond. Still got the rain sound. It's lovely here. This is the pergola, or what do they call it? Pergola? I don't know what you call it where you are. But it's rather nice here. It's covered in honeysuckle and Boston ivy. Look up Boston ivy, huge green leaves, which in the autumn, they go sort of goldy colour. It's lovely. I'm sitting here, there's insects flying about. I'm looking at the birds in the fig tree. I love storms, as long as they're not too near. I don't want them too close to my aerial, or aerials I should say. Perhaps I shouldn't be sitting down here. I don't think it's that close actually. I haven't seen any flashes yet, I've just heard the thunder. It's coming from the north. Yes, I can still... Was that a flash? A flash of lightning? I'm not sure. Nice and dry here. The temperature's... There's no mistaking that one. You heard that, didn't you? Fantastic. Just as long as it's not too close. I don't want my aerials getting struck. The wind's getting up a little bit. The rain is possibly getting a little bit harder. Lovely sitting here, looking at the flowers. The birds they're in the fig tree, they're not moving. Perhaps they're hiding. Perhaps they don't like the storm, they're hiding. There's also another tree we've got down, well, a bush thing, a big bush. They hide in there. I'm looking at a fir tree as well, over the back. Lovely. In the very old days, hundreds of thousands of years ago, people thought that was the gods, didn't they? Well, not hundreds of thousands of years ago. Back in, ancient Greek times or whenever it was, people thought that was the gods. They'd upset the gods. Was it Thor, the thunder? Yes, Thor. Was it the god of thunder or lightning? Oh, there's Tricia. Trisha's looking out of the bedroom window, taking a video of me. She's as balmy as I am. Do you know, we're both balmy. Her sister reckons that's why we're so good together, because we're both mad. I don't know how much longer I'm going to sit out here because I don't want to bore you. She's got a different camera now, got a proper camera, not just her phone, taking photos of me. I have waited weeks, months, years for a decent storm. Now there's a big flash. That was Tricia and her camera. That's not lightning. I'll just keep going for a little bit longer. Had some emails about your first house. Do you remember the first house you bought? Your first car? Michelle, 18 years old, just got her first car. Nice to hear from you, Michelle. And she says the feeling of freedom is just amazing. In the past, she had to say to her parents, could you give me a lift here? Can you give me a lift there? Phone them. Can you come and pick me up from wherever? If her friends were meeting somewhere. Or can one of you pick me up, give me a lift? Now she's got a car. And she says the feeling of freedom that it gives you is just amazing. I remember that, Michelle. My first car. Didn't have to ask for lifts. Didn't have to go around to the bus stop or down to the railway station. Just get into my car, off I go, when I like, where I like. I think perhaps I'd better go in a minute. Not that I'm getting wet or anything, but as I said, I don't want to bore you. Now here's the rain, a bit harder. I think that means the storm is getting closer. I've got to run down the garden to the house. It's all very well sitting here in the dry. I've got to get to the house. It's just right the way down the garden. I'll stay a couple of minutes longer, just in case you can't hear me. I might have to cut this bit out. A couple of minutes longer. I've disconnected all my aerials, by the way, from my amateur radio equipment, because it's not that if the aerials get struck, everything's ruined anyway, but it's the static build-up on the aerials that could spoil the radios. If you get a nearby strike, you don't want to know all this, do you? I'll tell you anyway, if there's a nearby strike, you get static build-up on the aerials, which could spoil the radios. Well, not spoil them, wreck them. Let's hope the water butt is filling up, because I emptied that this morning, watering everywhere. I'm going to wait for one more thunderclap. Do you remember Thunderclap Newman? That record, what was it called? I don't know what it was called. I like that. One more crash of thunder and I shall go back inside. Well, that wasn't much of one, was it? It's not at all cold, you know. I'm sitting here in my t-shirt. It's rather pleasant. What we've done, we've grown honeysuckle and Boston ivy all over this pergola. And the fig trees in front of me. There's the pine tree just over there. It's like sitting in the woods, and you know I love the woods. It really is like sitting in the woods. I often sit down here, perhaps in the morning with a cup of tea, in the evening with a beer. Now there's a thought. I will leave you now. I've got to get back to the house and get wet. I shall see you in a minute. It's now Friday. Here's the thing. I went back into the house, expecting the storm to get closer, the rain to become torrential. What happened? It stopped raining within minutes. Honestly, within 10 minutes it had stopped raining. The flag, which I'm looking at now, is early. It's 6:30 Friday morning. The flag just wrapped itself round the pole and did nothing. The wind had stopped. No rain, no wind, and, to top it all, the sun came out. There were still distant rumbles of thunder, but that was it. That was it. I was so disappointed. I came in because I thought the rain was becoming torrential, the storm was getting closer, we're going to have some really fantastic lightning and thunder. Nothing. The sun came out. I have to say, last night in the evening, about 8, 9 o'clock, we had quite a bit of rain, which lasted to about midnight, I suppose. But what a letdown, what an anticlimax. Chaz in America, you emailed me the other day, nice to hear from you, Chaz. You were saying to me, you were asking why do Brits keep on about the weather. I think that's the reason, or one of the reasons, Chaz, because it can change within 10 minutes. It probably changes around the world, but I don't know, does it? People go on holiday to Spain, Greece, Portugal, from Britain. They go down south, down there. Why do they go there? Because the sun shines. Now, it's not guaranteed sunshine in Spain, obviously. You can't guarantee anything weather-wise. But the chances are, if you go to Spain for a week or a fortnight's holiday, you're going to see a fair amount of sunshine. Whereas if you holiday in Britain, you just don't know what to expect. The forecast could say we've got a heat wave coming next week. What happens? It all falls apart and it rains every day for the next week. So Spain, Portugal, Greece, all down there, the Mediterranean, it's not guaranteed, but there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get some lovely weather. I was talking to North Carolina's son yesterday. What's the weather like, he said, because he's coming over soon. What's the weather like? What can I expect? I have no idea. I don't know. There's no point. Look now, blue sky. Just gone 6:30 in the morning. Blue sky up there. Little bit of a breeze from the east, funnily enough. Anyway, I'm banging on about the weather now, aren't I? The temperature in here is 22, so that's all right. I don't know what it is outside yet. The wind is now from the west. It was the east, it's now the west, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thank you, Chaz. Lovely to hear from you. I'm sure the weather changes within minutes. Does it around the world? Let me know. Rob in Australia, does your weather change within 10 minutes? Have you got beautiful summer's day 1 minute and then torrential rain the next? I doubt it. I think it's only Britain. It could be because we're an island and we have some funny sort of, what have we got? The jet stream above us that moves around and changes everything. We've got not the trade winds, the Gulf Stream, isn't it? The Gulf Stream, does it come from the Gulf of Mexico? Or the Gulf of America, as Trump wants to call it. Does it come from there, across the Atlantic, up to Britain and affect us here? I don't know. There's all sorts of things that go on. One thing I do know, you cannot forecast the weather. It's just not possible. Michelle, talking about your car, your first car that you got. I remember my first car, and I do remember that feeling of freedom. It was an old car I had. I don't know what car you had, Michelle. Mine was an old car, a 1954, would you believe? Ancient, getting on for 100 years old. Well, not quite. 1954 Hillman Minx. Side valve engine, 3 forward gears, 1 reverse. That was column change. It was really interesting to drive. It really was interesting to drive. But it was my first car and I loved it. I don't know how long I had that for, quite a few years, I think. And I do remember that feeling of freedom. Now, a friend of mine, he bought a new car, brand new car. Oh, there you go, wow. And he loved it. But only 2 days after he'd bought it, he drove it out of the showroom, brand new car. 2 days later, he'd parked it in the supermarket car park with his wife. He'd parked it there. away from other cars because, people fling their doors open and dent your car. He parked it down this slope, away from other cars. What happened? When he came back with his wife and the shopping, a trolley had rolled down the slope and slammed into the side of his car, scratched, dented. 2 days out of the showroom. 2 days he'd had it. And of course he was upset. He had to have it done. I mean, it was on insurance and things, but that's not the point. They had to get the dent out, respray the door. It just wasn't the same. And I do remember thinking at the time, if my car's dented or scratched, it doesn't matter. I did have one brand new car, a Ford Escort Estate, turquoise in colour. Very nice, but I was worried all the time. I was concerned, is someone going to dent it? Is someone going to scratch it? This is why I have since then, we've always had second-hand cars. Our car now, our Vauxhall, which I don't like. I don't like any cars. That's got scratches. Trish hit a post, a concrete fence post, graunched the side of it. She backed into something and dented the back of it. I drove past a post too close and ripped the wing mirror off, which I've since repaired. But it doesn't matter if we come out of a supermarket and someone's rammed a trolley into it or someone's dented it. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's worth the stress of having a brand new car, worrying about it. What's that mark? That mark wasn't there before. Look, someone scratched it. I don't want all that. I just like old cars. Mind you, I like all sorts of old things. What about you? Raise rants at protonmail.com. What do you think about cars? Of course, another thing, you drive a car out of a showroom, brand new car, the minute you drive it down the road, it's second hand. And its value depreciates immediately. It's second hand. What have you lost? A few £1,000s? You go to sell it, it's not a new car anymore. Our car, if we went to sell our car, I don't know what we'd get for it. £1,500 if we're lucky. £1,000, I've no idea. This is why we just keep it going. Run it into the ground. One day when it packs up altogether or falls to bits, we'll just buy another car. I mean, this one's done us how many years? We've had this 12 years, have we? Yes, at least 12 years, I think. And it's been okay, even though I don't like it. It's been all right. So what do you think about new cars? Is it worth buying a brand new one? I know a lot of people will buy a new car. This is in Britain. I don't know about other countries. You buy a new car. After 3 years, the warranty runs out. So they sell it or part exchange it for another new one. I think people lease cars, don't they? So it's never their car. They pay hundreds a month, every month, for 3 years or whenever, and then change it for another brand new car. I don't think I want all that, because I like to install radios in the car, drill holes in the dashboard and things for radios and whatever. Also, your first house. Do you remember your first house? I remember ours. It was only a small, a terraced sort of 3-bedroom place. I say 3 bedrooms. One bedroom was a fairly sort of reasonable size. The second one was smaller, and the third one was not much more than a cupboard. No, seriously, you could get a bed in there, but it wasn't that big, more or less a large cupboard. But it was our first house, and we loved it. Then, of course, North Carolina son came along. He was born, so he moved in with us. And we were there, what were we there for? 5 years, I think. Then we moved to a nice detached bungalow. So it was all right, but it was a fairly new house. And it was the build quality, as they say these days, was dreadful. It really was awful. I won't go into all that, but what do you think? What was your first house? Do you remember that? The one that you first bought with a mortgage or you rented? Do you remember that? I remember the morning I woke up. We'd moved in, and the following morning I woke up, opened my eyes, and I'm looking around the bedroom. Where am I? Oh, yes, we're in our house. The wallpaper in the bedroom. It was dark blue with big purple circles. It was dreadful. So that had to go immediately. We didn't have any furniture. That first evening we moved in, and the second evening, we sat on the floor in the lounge. We didn't have a television. We sat on the floor. We didn't have a table or chairs. We didn't have anything. We had a bed. That was about it. So then people donated things. You know how they do when you first get married and you move into your home. We had a kettle and a toaster, things like that. Saucepans, knives and forks, cutlery, all that sort of stuff. People donated. Someone gave us a 3-piece suite. They delivered that in a van. I forget who that was. My brother-in-law, gave us a second-hand carpet for the lounge. It had been in his garage. He was going to take it to the rubbish tip. And I said, no, we'll have that. We haven't got a carpet. It was awful, but it was all right. It was better than nothing. Then we got a TV from somewhere. Whereas these days, of course, what do people do, young married couple? They get a house, they go out on the credit card and buy everything. I'll have that 3-piece suite, brand new, £1,500 or more. Would you spend that on a 3-piece suite? I know a lot of you would, yes, of course. I wouldn't. Our 3-piece suite, well, it's actually a sofa, an armchair, and is it a poof? I don't know what it's called, a poufet? It's lovely, 200 quid, second hand. It's lovely. The wooden frame of the chair and the sofa, it's carved, it's beautifully carved. It looks like oak. It's heavy enough, it probably is oak. The leather upholstery is beautiful. It's amazing to look at, it really is. I would rather spend 200 quid on that than 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 on some modern rubbishy 3-piece suite. Our bed is new, that's a bit different. The fridge, tumble dryer, washing machine, all that sort of stuff is new, the microwave, the cooker. But furniture-wise, I don't think we've got anything new in the house. It's all second-hand. And of course, being second-hand and older, it's built nicely. My table in here, where I've got all my radio stuff, is a huge table. It's a big dining room table, in fact. And it is solid as a rock, literally. It's massive. It'd have to be, though, to take all the weight of the radios. If I put a modern table here, it would be rocking around. Well, it would collapse. Rubbish. So I do like the old stuff. I like the old cars, of course. I'm not going to start complaining about modern cars because I've done all that before. But there we are. Nice to hear from you, Michelle. Glad you like your first car. How about your first house, Michelle? Are you going to move into your first house before long? Do let me know. Change of subject. We've got the dentist on Monday morning. 6-month checkup. When we were there in February, I remember saying to the receptionist, in August, when we come for our checkup, the weather will be a lot warmer. And it is, it's lovely. But I hate the dentist. I know what he's going to say. He'll see me. Ray, come in. Have a seat. How are you? Everything all right? Yes, I'm fine, thanks. Teeth all okay? Yes, they're fine. Oh, are they? No aches or pains? No problems at all. Oh, and he'll be thinking, oh, that's disappointing. I was hoping you were going to pay for my holiday this year. Did I tell you I've got a gap where there was a tooth that came out years ago? He said, I can fill that gap for you. I can put a tooth in there. £3,000. You can't see the gap. It's, I don't know, £3,000? No. In fact, the last checkup I had, he said, oh, OK, nothing wrong. You're all right, you know. I bet he thought, what's the point? He won't part with his money no matter what I say. It's best to go for the 6-monthly checkup. I mean, you know, if he says there is a problem with a tooth, you need a filling, I will have that done. But he's not having thousands of pounds from me, like he's done in the past. There was one year, I think between us, Trish and I, we spent, was it nearly £4,000? Stone the crows. Then after the dentist on Monday, we've got the optician. We're having our eyes tested and all that nonsense. At least that's is that free? I don't know whether that's free or not. I think so. But what will they say? You'll need new glasses. Now, mine are varifocals, and they're not cheap. These were £250. The ones I'm wearing now. What? How much? They got plastic lenses. I said to them, these are plastic. Yes, that's right. They're all plastic lenses these days. And you know me, I chuck them down on the desk and they get scratched. I did ask. I said, can you get glass lenses? Oh, yes, you can, but they're a lot more expensive. What? More expensive? If they say I need new glasses, I don't know. These are all right. No problems. The varifocals, they're fine. And they sold me another pair of glasses for looking at the computer. That was even more, I don't know, even more money. So we've got the dentist and the optician on Monday morning. That's going to be fun. I know several people that don't go to the dentist anymore. They can't afford it. The checkup, I think, is about £60. Then you have a couple of x-rays. They're 12 quid each. You know, before you know it, you spent 100 quid just on a checkup, let alone any work being done. And we don't have NHS dentists anymore. We used to. You could go to the dentist like we do the doctor. Doesn't cost a penny. Well, I say it doesn't cost a penny. We pay out of tax, don't we? That's where the money comes from, the taxpayer. But you could go in and have work done on your teeth and whatever, and you weren't charged anything. Whereas now, the dentist just looks at your teeth and you owe him 500 quid. I don't know. What's going on? Oh, I nearly forgot. On raisrants.info, the web page, I've put a couple of pictures of some American cars. Downtown the other day, there was an American car show. Various enthusiasts taking their cars there. I didn't go because I don't like the town, but Trish did. She took some photos. Fantastic. Honestly, some of these old American cars, the back of them, they look like rockets, like Thunderbirds. Who remembers Thunderbirds? It was great, that programme, International Rescue. They look like rockets, these cars. Go and have a look. Well, not now, because you're listening to me. raisrants.info. Absolutely amazing, these cars. The big bench seat, left-hand drive, of course, automatic with a gear stick thing on the steering column. Wonderful. Honestly, I look at those photos and I get into our car and I just think, who designed it? What's gone wrong? What sort of idiot designed this plastic rubbish? Oh, I'm off on cars again, aren't I? Just have a look. I think there's only 3 photos of some American cars. She took a load of photos. They're lovely. Since my teens, I've always wanted an American car. You know, the old, not the 50s, that's going back a bit too far. 60s, 1960s, I suppose. Since my teens, I never got one. I don't know why. All my life I've thought I'm going to get an American car one day. I never did. A friend of mine's got one. It's a Cadillac. In fact, I think he's got 2 Cadillacs. Lovely. I think one of them's turquoise with white leather upholstery. Amazing, amazing. Just to sit in it, let alone drive around. Right, enough of that. Enough of American cars. I've got to contact our double glazing people. They replaced our back door, the kitchen door, out onto the patio a few weeks ago, which is lovely. It's a nice job. But they phone us. They phone us, do you want this? We can offer you this discount. Valued customer. We can do this, we can do that. Do you want a conservatory? No, I've had all this before. And they phoned me yesterday. I was busy doing something on my computer. Phone call. Hello, valued customer. We can offer you this, we can offer you that. I said, no, we're okay. Well, look, we can do a quote. It'll last 2 years, the quote. So what we do, we can come round this morning. No, not this morning. No, this afternoon then. No, we're out today. We weren't, I lied. We can come round this evening. What time are you home? No. Honestly, talk about pushy. I'm going to email them today and say, we love your company, we love your product, the way it was fitted, good price, but please do not keep phoning. I'm going to email them today and say that because it just gets too much. She said, how about Friday? I said, no, we're out Friday. Saturday? No, we've got the family round Saturday. Monday's good for us, she said. We've got someone in your area on Monday. No, we've got the dentist, the optician. Tuesday? I said, something's happening Tuesday and I forget what it is. She said, shall I phone you? Yeah, phone. She's going to phone on Wednesday. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm not answering the landline phone anymore. Had enough of it. I don't want a landline phone. I'm not answering it anymore. As Trish said, pick it up, and if it says, like Fred, and it's a friend of yours, then, okay, answer it. If it's just a number you don't know who it is, don't answer it. So I'll probably do that. We had this before with the double glazing people. They fitted a new porch door on the front of the house for us, which was lovely. But they kept phoning and phoning. Have a conservatory? No. We can offer you 50% off the price of a new conservatory. I don't want a conservatory. We've got a roof that I've put up there. It's fine. We can do a No. Honestly, it drives you around the bend. If you're wondering where all the background noises have gone, it's very early in the morning. Tricia has gone to the supermarket. She's gone shopping. So it's quiet. There's no traffic. It's too early for traffic. I love it. I love getting up early. I was awake this morning at 4 o'clock. Stone the crows, 4 o'clock. I was going through emails on my iPad and looking at various things. Trish got up at, 5:30, I think it was, and she went off shopping at 6. So it's really quiet. There's no builders over the back. The gas men have gone. It's a lovely time of day, especially in the summer. I'm going to go and get some breakfast. All I've had this morning is a cup of tea. So I'm going to get some breakfast, have a look at Gary the tortoise, let him out, give him some breakfast, feed the birds, feed the squirrels, feed myself, and I shall see you in a minute. It's now Saturday, so it was rather a long minute. Lovely email from Tom and Maria. They have covered their entire back garden with a huge greenhouse. Amazing. Now, it's not a very big back garden. I don't know how big, but they say it's not big. And they say that it's almost tropical in the summer. Isn't it too hot? Tom, Maria, isn't it too hot? Do you know, I've often joked about this with friends and family. I've said, how about our garden? How about a huge greenhouse, fence to fence, right up to the house? So you step out of the house into this huge greenhouse. You could have tropical plants, as Tom and Maria have done. You would extend the summer. The spring would start weeks and weeks earlier than anyone else. Autumn would be delayed. Winter would be shortened. Isn't it too hot, though, in the midsummer? Tom and Maria have said in their email that they've got lots of windows to open in the greenhouse. They got the idea, this is a bit I like, they got the idea from Amazon World on the Isle of Wight. I've been there many times. Trish and I have been there. We've taken the grandchildren. We must have been there a dozen times, more than that even, over the years. What it is, Amazon World, look it up, Amazon World, Isle of Wight. There's a huge greenhouse, and in there they've got tropical plants, they've got tortoises. Some of the tortoises are huge things. They're like monsters, and it's all in this huge greenhouse. They've got a big pond in there full of huge fish, a waterfall. It's just lovely. They've got birds in there, tropical type birds, parrots and things flying around. Now this is what Tom and Maria have tried to recreate, well, successfully by the sound of it. So they do have a lot of windows that they can open. You'd have to in the midsummer. I mean, we've just had this so-called heat wave. It was far too hot just in the garden for me, let alone a greenhouse. Is it heated in the winter? You've not mentioned that. I think if you've got tropical plants, you'd have to heat it in the winter. How big is your garden? Come on, Tom, Maria, email me again and fill me in with some more information. I'd love to hear about that. Our pergola, or pergola, however you want to pronounce it, has a roof on it. Have a look on rants.info. There's a picture of me recording in the pergola, one that Trish took from the window. rants.info, there's a picture of me there, hiding in the undergrowth. I love it. But there's a roof on it, you know, this plastic corrugated stuff. I put that roof on it. The Boston ivy and the honeysuckle have all grown there, so you can't see the roof. It really is nice. And what I've done, I've extended the roof. Only a couple of weeks ago, I extended it from the pergola to where the sheds are. So that area there where the shed doors are, that's dry. And it really does make a difference. Now, the roof on the back of the house, I've often mentioned this, haven't I? Our patio roof, that goes out, what, about 3 meters, I think, from the house, right across the back of the house, and about 3 meters out. And what that does, it allows us, as the other day, we had lunch out there. We're sitting on the patio, at the patio table, enjoying our lunch. It was quite warm, and it was raining. I just love that. It's wonderful. I like the rain, you know, it's nice to listen to the sound of the rain. The garden likes it, the plants like it, not all the time, of course. So that does, in a way, extend our summer, because in the early spring we can sit out there. It gets quite warm under that roof. Late into the autumn, as winter is approaching, we can still sit out there if there's a bit of sunshine. So covering the entire the entire garden, I don't know, I'd like that. I think if we had the money, it would cost a fortune, wouldn't it? I don't know what the neighbours would say. Huge greenhouse right next to them. I'm not sure. But it's a great idea, though. I really do like that. I've also had a lot of emails about companies not advertising on certain TV channels. Do you remember I talked about that? Certain companies won't advertise on certain TV channels because they don't like the TV channel politics and stuff like that. Quite a few emails saying it's ridiculous. If a TV channel is successful and it's got more viewers than other channels, then why not advertise on it? And have these TV channels, have some of them got political views? I don't know. I suppose they have. I don't know. People are saying defund the BBC because it's all left. Other people are saying other channels are too far to the right. I don't know. Of course, in the old days, we didn't have all this. It was BBC and ITV. There was no real left and right on either of the channels. They were just, well, the BBC were renowned, weren't they, world over for the news. It was accurate, it was honest, whereas now they seem to be in trouble half the time for biased stuff. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? I think the whole world's gone mad, actually. Everything now is political. Whatever you say, it seems to be political. Have you seen this thing about the, American Eagle jeans? Sydney Sweeney, that girl. I mean, she's quite attractive. She's blonde, blue-eyed, quite attractive, advertising jeans. That seems to have set everyone off. People are raging about it. I don't quite know what it's all about. I haven't read it. I haven't looked into it. To be honest, I can't be bothered. There are better things to do. There's much more to life, isn't there, than all this? They're sitting in the garden, under the roof in the rain, listening to the thunder. That's what it's all about. That's just my thoughts. Don't like all this politics all over the place. What are my notes here? I think I've covered just about everything now. As I said, it's Saturday. We've got storm. What is it coming in? Florence? No, not Florence. Storm something coming in on Monday. I think that's up north, though, up Scotland sort of area, I believe. I forget what it's called. Fizzy? No, I don't know. I might look that up. Well, I say we've got it coming in. This is another weather forecast, isn't it? Which I don't bother with anymore. I still haven't replaced the flag. I've got the new flag here ready to put up, so I must do that soon. I did my back in yesterday, which is unfortunate. I'd twisted as I got out of bed early in the morning, twisted my back, and it's been dreadful ever since. So unfortunately, I've not been able to do a lot of jobs in the garden that I had planned to do. I love gardening. I know a lot of people don't like the garden. They don't like mowing the lawn. They look at it as a chore. They try and make the garden as simple as possible, as easy to maintain as possible. And some people won't even have a garden. They move to a flat. They don't want a garden. They have an apartment or a flat, which is fine, each to their own. I just love sitting outside. In the summer and even in the winter, you can get a lovely winter's day. Okay, it's a bit chilly, but the sun's shining. It's really crisp and fresh out there. It's just nice. I like it. And then, of course, when the spring comes, I start thinking about runner beans, tomatoes, growing all this stuff, flowers. I like taking cuttings. I won't go on too much about gardening because it's not everyone's thing. I've got a ribes bush, ribes. It smells of blackcurrant. And I had to trim it. I cut quite a few branches off it. It was getting a bit out of hand. And what I did with these branches I cut off, they're only about a foot long, I stuck them in flower pots, in compost. And they've all grown. I've been giving ribes plants to the neighbours, to the family. We've got now, how many have we got in the back garden? One out the front, the main one in the front garden. And round the back, I think we've got about 6. Tricia was saying, I don't want ribes plants all over the back garden. We've got 5 or 6. They'll be all right. I'll keep them under control. I'll keep them trimmed. The fig tree, I'm letting it go. I've been cutting it down every year. This year it's grown 3 feet. Honestly, in the last 2 or 3 months, it's grown 3 feet. Incredible. I'm going to let it go. I don't want to keep it cut down anymore. The birds love it. The squirrels love it. They eat the figs. These little hoverfly things, those small wasp type things, they eat the figs. We've tried eating the figs. They're disgusting. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. Have a look at the webpage, raysrants.info. Email me, raysrants@protonmail.com. Be good to hear from you. Do you like gardening? What should we talk about next week? Let's have some ideas. I've got my book here, absolutely jam-packed with ideas, but it's choosing one. I look through, should I do this? No. Should I do that one? No. So you help me out here. Look at that blue sky. Lovely blue sky. It's going to be a nice day today. So it's early Saturday morning. Where are we? 20 to 8 now. I've had breakfast. We've fed Gary. We've fed the squirrels. We've fed the birds. We've fed ourselves. We've fed the worms, the insects. We've got a mouse. We've fed the mouse. He's down the garden. He lives under the pagoda. There's like a wooden decking there. He lives under there, this mouse. He pops out every now and then to grab some nuts that we put out for the squirrels. He's all right. I don't mind the mice, as long as they stay down there. I don't want them in the house, obviously, or in the sheds, because they chew things and make a mess everywhere. I shall love you and leave you. I will see you on Wednesday with a midweek message. Be good, be bad, and if you are bad, well, you might get caught. So be careful. Take care. Thanks for listening. Been great chatting with you. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye for now.